Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast, Festival Edition. Today with Amy and Tammy, and they host a number of events through the years, including Treestock and AppleJacks. So we're going to talk about both of them and maybe even more. Ladies, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Amy, give us a quick background. Where did you grow up?
Actually, I was born and raised here in Nebraska City. Small town, 7,000. So like every other kid, all I wanted to do was leave. So I graduated, went to college, big city. And then when we started our family, we're like, you know what? We need babysitters and we want to be closer to family. So moved back to Nebraska City and just been in love with this town ever since in a different way. It's different when you're an adult. So.
All right. Tammy, how about you? Where'd you grow
up? Ditto. Actually, I grew up here in Nebraska City as well. My husband and I are high school sweethearts, and when our son was about a year old, we had the same conversation and said, let's move back home. And so we've lived here. I only lived away for about 6 years for college and a couple of years following before I realized that it doesn't get much better than this, the town you grew up in. And as Amy said, it's a different kind of love for your small town. When you're a kid, you don't realize how awesome it is. You just see that there's a whole world out there. And when you're an adult, you see that world and you're like, okay, that world is pretty cool, but I just want to go home sometimes.
Now you say small town, 7,000 people. Do you have a Walmart?
We do. Have a
Walmart. You're not small town. You're not small town. I kept hearing, I always would hear Blake Shelton talk about, he comes from a small town, Ada, Oklahoma. I'd never been to Ada, Oklahoma until last week. And I drove through there and I'm like, this is not a small town. They have a Walmart. They have a Chili's. They have an Applebee's. My small town was 430 people, so so everybody defines, but I realize 7,000, that's
we
not
don't
that
have the
kind
Chili's.
Of small town. Like I drove through another small town where they literally had the checks that I could have used for gas at the counter.
Yes.
Like, this is my name and the bank's across the street.
Yeah. And
we're not that small.
Imprint your credit card, which a lot of credit cards, you can't even do that anymore on. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then can you imagine, let's stop for a second. Can you imagine having to imprint a credit card and then mail that off and then wait for a check to come back? Like that's insane. I can't believe people even did that. You have to literally wait 30 days for your money. There's no way. Okay, ladies, let's talk about Treestock Fest. Treestock first. Give the listeners a visual. If they unload their car, what are they going to see, smell, and hear?
Well, we started Treestock as an official festival just a couple of years ago, and Nebraska City is in the southeast part of Nebraska. It's about an hour south of Omaha, an hour east of Lincoln. And for close to 40 years, our local JC's organization has done fireworks for the 4th of July, and they do a fantastic job. It's a really big production. Yes, small town, but for all the even smaller towns around us, this is where they come for fireworks.
Okay.
And we wanted to kind of capitalize on that and offer more for people that come that day. So we thought, let's make a whole weekend event out of it. And having like a live concert is really what our focus was on that, an all-day concert leading up to the fireworks. So we get a stage. And we have a show at 1, at 3, at 5, and at 7. And then the fireworks start at 9:30 when it gets dark enough. And we add in, there's food trucks, carnival, cornhole tournament. The next day we beer garden. And in that beer garden area the next day, we ask God for forgiveness with our community worship service for the things that happened in the beer garden the day before. We did some family games in there. We have a show and shine car show, which is pretty fun. We have pancake feed and a golf scramble. So,
nice.
This is a lot for our community, but also for people that come to visit as well.
Okay, now AppleJack, what is that?
So I can start, but Tammy wrote a book. She's better with words. I'm pretty plain Jane. So AppleJack started in our community. This year will be 55 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the story the stories that we've heard is they used to celebrate the apple blossoms. So the apples trees are so beautiful when they start to bloom in April, but that's really hard to capture because that's on Mother Nature's time.
Right.
So about 55 years ago, the chamber decided to capitalize on the fruit side of it and celebrate the harvest. And predict that a little more. And so that's when AppleJack came alive.
And the head of the chamber at that time was a man named Jack. And so he said, why don't we call it AppleJack? And it's like the 3rd and 4th weekends in September. We have right now, I think at the time we had maybe 6 orchards in the area. Now we have 3. And we get like 70, 80,000 people in town over 2 weekends in September. And the apple orchards, I mean, do you want cider? Great. Do you want pie? Sure. Crisp, caramel apples. What do you want for the apples? We've got them.
Moonshine?
Then we've got well, sure.
Hard cider.
Sure. Lots of hard cider. Lots of hard cider. But we also have a parade, a huge car show, carnival. We do water barrel fights. If you know what those are, it's like a reverse tug of war using fire hoses and pushing a empty barrel.
My goodness, wait a second.
What? Yeah, I've got it.
We're actually really good at this.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
We did happen to win.
Well, we don't have a lot of money here sometimes because we're not for profit. So sometimes we win our own trophies back and reuse them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, so I'm thinking here, Tammy, if you were going to name a festival after yourself, what would you name it?
I got one.
Okay.
Okay, Amy, what's yours?
Treestock.
Stock.
Is this a family-friendly podcast?
No, whatever YouTube allows.
I better not.
They're pretty generous. TikTok, not so much. Definitely not. But YouTube, yeah, we're good.
That's hard because you got to think of something that's going to last. I mean, I did come up with the name Treestock because we were thinking of the live music and the all-day thing. And I mean, Woodstock is what you think of when you think of like an all-day festival.
Yeah.
But apparently somebody used that already. But we're all about trees because Nebraska City is also the home of Arbor Day. I don't know if we talked to you about that.
Nope, you haven't, but you can mention that too. But wait, before you go there, you got me thinking about mine. So I'm on a ranch right now and it's just full of manure right now. It's a mess. So then when you talked about the non-friendly version, I was going to, well, what can I call it? Jake's Manure? And then I was like, no, it's going to be Jake's S Show. That's perfect. You guys great. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
My parents will again be proud of me. I'm a preacher's kid. I'm sure I just disappointed my parents.
You know what? We could name some cow pie bingo after you.
We could
have cow pie bingo called.
Yeah,
Jake.
We were thinking about adding cow pie bingo
Jake's.
this year. Okay, wait. I gotta write that down. Okay, cow pie bingo, Jake's.
Have you already booked your entertainment for this year?
No. Are you busy?
No, and we can make that happen. That would be fantastic. I'll give you a great deal if you'll name the cow pie bingo Jake's S Show.
We can do that.
Oh, man.
We can totally do that.
Oh,
my parents will also be disappointed. They can be disappointed together.
Oh, I'm 46 years old and I'm still going to therapy because I let my parents down. It's just part of what it is.
Oh my gosh, this is a conversation we need to have for another day.
It probably is.
Wait a second. I think you just took a lot off of me because I have chickens and we don't want to call it Amy's Gawk Show.
Oh man, we are there now. We have went full on out. No, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure. So ladies, this whole community is vitally important to you. What is it about these events that you want to carry them on so much?
I think we both have good answers for that and probably similar, but we just live and breathe this community and we want everybody who is making this community home to be able to have a sustainable income. So a lot of times we think in terms of how do we get people here in the middle of the summer? I mean, they're coming here, but we know what we're up against at 4th of July. We know we're up against boats and waters and that kind of stuff. So we wanted to bring our businesses, people to shop in the middle of summer. But at the same time, we want people to feel the same way about the community that we do at our age. And so we try to create events that are quality, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like family friendly, but
right. So like they're gonna raise their kids and be like, oh man, when we were little, we used to go to this Treestock thing. It was weird. There were cows pooping. It was weird, but it was cool. And just that wholesome hometown feeling. And so every event that we do, which makes us maybe a little different than Chambers, is we're not just thinking about the revenue generated, we're also thinking about the quality of life in our community.
Well,
so
that makes a lot of sense. So let me I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I keep hearing, seeing this new thing called Chat GTP. Have you guys heard of that yet? It's an AI search engine, and you can type in whatever you want and it will spit it out to you. So let me give you an example. I could type in and I could say, okay, I want a country song that talks about Tennessee, Georgia, apple pie moonshine, and a little town in Nebraska. And in 20 seconds, it will spit out an intro, 2 verses and a chorus, and an outro in 20 seconds. And so I'm playing around with this thing, just realizing that the world's changing super fast. And I said, okay, I want to know show me research articles on live events and social interaction and health and disease. And in same time, that 15 seconds, there it is. And so let me tell you this, you and I both know that going to live events and getting together with our community and our friends, it makes us feel better. Hands down. Like we do it because we enjoy it. You guys spend all your time and devote all your energy and volunteer because you enjoy it. You know the importance of it, but it makes you feel good. Well, this computer just listed all these, and the number of health conditions that decrease by social interaction and spending time out of isolation and loneliness. And we're talking decreased rates of dementia, decreased rates of inflammation, cardiovascular disease drop. February's National Heart Month. You guys are doing more for your community than what you think you are. You're doing it because you enjoy it and you want to give back and you want to carry it on. But these events, and we saw it during COVID, these events are vital, important to the health, the physical health and the mental health. And the research shows it. So I told my guys in the band, every time we're playing a show, we're saving a heart attack. You know, it just, it's an indirect way, and it's kind of ridiculous, but it really is. It is that vital, and that's huge. And so to hear you guys talk about your kids, your own families, and wanting them to experience in generations to come, that really is what it's about. But there's so much more as it goes through.
And it's funny you talked about that when in 2020, by the time September came around for our annual AppleJack Festival, we took a chance and decided to actually have it. All of the festivals that summer were canceled. We were the first festival in our region to actually have it. And we took, usually AppleJack was one weekend. We spread it out over 4 different. And so we didn't want a super spreader event. And so we had the parade this weekend and the car show here. And then we had something else this weekend. We had our vendors this weekend. And it ended up, we didn't have a super spreader event. Nothing spiked afterwards. And we had more people come, and we had people come multiple times. Yeah. They were so excited to get out. They were so excited to see things and do things. And
we accidentally created a perfect storm.
We did. And now, we're a couple of years past that. And we've decided to do AppleJack on 2 weekends instead of just one. We can say that with a smile now, because doing the first event, we thought we could lose our jobs. We are really, really pushing the envelope. There are people saying once that they wouldn't participate. And so we lost some volunteers and things like that. But at the end of the day, we knew what would help us and our families. And that was getting out, being in the fresh open air. It's September, for crying out loud. You need some of this fresh air. Yes. And people just really enjoyed it.
That's perfect. Okay, ladies, I always ask these 2 questions in every interview. I'm going to ask Tammy the first one. Tammy, what is the best concert you've seen your entire life?
Okay, I'm gonna totally. Dang, that's hard. Okay, I'm gonna say when I was in 5th grade, I went to AHA. You know AHA? Take on me, take on me.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep going. No, it was awful because they played for like 2 hours, maybe like 2 hours in Omaha at what was that big place in Omaha that they ended up tearing down? downtown.
Yeah, I just drove
Yeah.
by.
Okay. And I didn't know a single song.
Oh,
And nobody knew. And they were like, and then they left the stage and we were like, what? Then they came back out for the encore and did Take on Me. And everybody went wild. But that was
So they
was
left you
so
with
much
a
fun.
piece
Yes.
of your
Because they're like the epitome of one hit wonder.
yeah.
And but that was the only song anybody knew. And they waited till the encore to do it. And I don't remember any of the other songs that they did. I did have their poster up in my locker.
Doesn't
your
even
face looked like his face when you said the name of the band.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if you knew it. Okay, Amy, you could bring one musical act to your town, dead or alive. Money's not an issue.
Say Jake Gill, say Jake Gill, say Jake Gill.
No, don't waste it on me. We can already make that happen.
So I wish you wouldn't have thrown in Dead or Alive, because that makes it difficult.
It does make it hard.
Because right away I was thinking J-Lo. I would love to see J-Lo in concert. I just totally dig the dancing, and it's about her music is good and I love it, but it's also about all the extras. Same with Garth Brooks. Like I've never been to one of his concerts, but that's on my bucket
I've heard
list.
his concerts are fantastic.
Right.
Right.
That's a bucket list.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this one is just really at the front of my mind, and it's because we just had the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. My favorite Super Bowl halftime, I was little, but I remember it like it was yesterday, was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Best Super Bowl halftime show that I remember personally. And so if I could bring someone back, let's see what Michael Jackson's got.
I know a lot more songs, that's for sure.
You would.
That's perfect. Ladies, how do people find out more about those two festivals and more?
Our website is nebraskacity.com.
Okay.
And we've got a festivals tab at the top, and information should be on there. We're updating it constantly. We had a Treestock meeting last night, so we'll put some more information that we figured out last night on there. It's going to be it's tricky because the 4th of July is on a Tuesday. And so we're having our big festival like the weekend before.
Yep.
So we put information up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Ladies, thanks for being on with us today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting
Thank
us.
you
This
so
was
much.
awesome.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a ball